Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Ruben,
and he's not here yet from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you Friday. How's your Friday, Rubes?
it's pretty good for a Friday. It's a bit sad and depressive here in Melbourne. This week has been very rainy and not quite the sunny Perth that we'll be in next week. I had a look at the weather, I must admit, and saw that it was all sun. But yeah, Melbourne's been a bit rainy.
Look, I like the cold weather, so I'm not too stressed, and particularly after coming back from that desert
Called Oklahoma.
in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
where it was like 38 degrees every day. Far out. I'm actually quite relieved at the temperature over here. I think it's great. So I'm a happy camper.
You've caused a bit of a shock for Greg. He said, we all know who's running late for the live stream, and then said, what? Michael is not the last person to arrive for live stream.
No, I was the first one here. We're waiting
Oh,
for
you were not. Oh, dear. Silver Sushi said, I would have bet my whole stack it would be Michael causing the delay, not Alex.
What? Where did I get this reputation from?
History?
It's funny. I grew up in a family that was always late, and I hated it so much.
I'll be different. I'll change it.
Oh, I was. When I first got my license and my independence, I was never late until the day I started dating my wife. And then I became late all over again, and now it just seems to have carried through a bit. So,
Oh, dear.
oh well.
No, Alex is here today. He's just in the shop serving currently. So
Yeah,
he'll join us as soon as he can.
He's got caught up with a customer, so best we can do on that one. You can't just walk out on a customer, unfortunately. So he'll be here fairly quickly.
We've got a few people asking about Pakenham already, asking if there's any update. Someone said Pakenham's closing. I think they're trying to.
That's it. It's been and gone.
Yeah, been and gone.
We've
That's
done it. No, it's actually, unfortunately, it's much as it was last week. We're scratching a little bit, although we think we've solved the problem. We're scratching a little bit for staff down there. So hopefully that will be sorted out within the next week or so. And we're still hunting just a little bit of equipment. It's not important equipment. It's just make life easier equipment. So I'm hoping soon. Let's go with soon.
Yes. Christmas and in which year and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it will be in this year. I would suggest if we went off to sunny Perth next week, it would be sooner than that. But yeah, I'm off to sunny Perth next week.
And a few people in chat joining us. We've got the tour of the Perth Mint happening next week, as well as the launch of the Lunar horse.
Really looking forward to this one. For both of them, actually. I always love the release of the new Lunar. It's Ruben and I were doing a bit of an unboxing just before, and he's right. He made some comment about how it almost feels like the start of a new year once the Lunar comes out. And it kind of is the kickoff for 2026. Not all, but the majority of the coins from kind of now on through will actually start being labelled 2026. We'll see the new designs coming through for next year, all those sorts of things. So it's always an exciting time of year. I always look forward to this kind of late August, early September, because you get the sneak peeks of everything else.
We've got Roxy's dad. Hello, Michael. Are you planning on getting the 5 portraits from the Royal Mint?
If we can, we might speak later to some of the meetings. Oh, I've left my diary in the other room. Some of the meetings we had in Oklahoma at the ANA conference, and that may answer that question a little bit.
Do we need to get someone to go grab said diary? Or
Hopefully I can do it off the top of my head, but we'll see what happens.
Aussie Rob says, no smart shirt, Michael. There was a bit of positive comments from your change of uniform from that one video.
Yeah, we're trialling a new video is probably the way. A new shirt. That's actually more my corporate shirt that I wear when I'm going to ANA conferences and that sort of stuff. I have a feeling that when I got back from the States, that was the only clean shirt I left in the cupboard. So that's the reason I was wearing it for that unboxing that you saw. But yeah, we're looking at reviewing the uniform for us, but I got to say it's certainly not at the top of our priority list at the moment. But we are reviewing it. Looks like it got a fairly positive response. So,
yeah, no, I think it did.
Maybe we should take it a bit more seriously and get some more in.
I was going making sure we bring some pens to Perth.
I actually had that conversation with Janine. She's bringing some across. So if you're there in Perth, make sure you mug Janine for a pen.
I had a question through on Instagram this week, Michael. Less of a question and I guess more can you back this person up a little bit, because they had a bit of a battle with customs.
No is the short answer on this one.
Well, I thought we might be able to provide a little bit of insight on it, because it is something that we deal with quite a bit, and we're used to kind of having the conversation. So let me paint you the story here. It says, I recently bought a Lunar Tiger half-ounce gold coin from overseas in Singapore and had it imported into Australia. When I got to the border, they charged me GST on the coin, as it is a collector product and does not move with the spot price of gold, rather the collector value of the coin. I argued with them that these coins were sold at the Perth Mint and do not incur GST. However, they said I am incorrect. I know customs are really hard to deal with in general, but I believe this would be an interesting topic of conversation, as apparently any Lunar coin is a collector product and not bullion. According to the customs official I spoke to on the phone, all bullion coins incur GST and only gold bars do not. The short question being, why would a bullion coin be charged GST when they're not charged GST from the Perth Mint?
Yeah, you're right, they're wrong. is the short answer. Astro Boy SpaceX is spot on. Argue with customs, good luck. I wouldn't say they're a law unto themselves, but they're basically a law unto themselves. If they decide they're going to charge a GST coming in, you can argue it. I'm assuming this is being shipped in a parcel, rather than carrying it through the airport. So the problem is with parcels coming through customs is that you've only got X amount of time before they go, well, that's fine. You don't want to pay it? That's great. We'll just ship it back to where it came from.
Yep.
So you're kind of stuck in a bit of a bind there. And effectively, and we do this as a company, believe it or not, and ours can run into the tens of thousands of dollars, even the early hundreds of thousands of dollars, where we'll bring in a shipment from overseas. We know it doesn't incur GST because we deal with it every day. Customs will decide for some random reason that this one actually incurs GST. We've learnt over time that it's actually far quicker and easier to pay the GST and then to claim it back from the government. Now, it's easier for us because we're obviously submitting regular BAS statements, and we just you do it as part of that. But you too can do it. You apply for a form from the ATO. It'll be on their website. I can't think what it's called off the top of my head, but if you can't find it, just give a quick phone call to the ATO. And I know there's nothing quick about the ATO, but work with me here. Phone the ATO, explain the situation, to say, look, I'd like to claim back the GST. You fill in the form, and within a few weeks, it does take a few weeks, but they'll process it and they'll flick back the GST to you. Particularly if it's a Perth Mint product, you literally just take a screenshot of the Perth Mint page, and the vast majority of Perth Mint pages are there, even the older ones. So in this case, I think you said it was a Tiger. You'll find that page is still on the internet. So you just download the page, you show that it doesn't incur GST on the Perth Mint website. It's pretty much a no-brainer. The ATO will, from my experience, the ATO will refund the GST straight away.
One of the reasons I thought this could expand into a bit more of a discussion was I wasn't sure if the fact that it was a couple of years old at this point might impact it, because I know on release they don't incur GST, but there is a bit of a thing of, after a couple of years, if you start selling it for quite a bit more than the original RRP of it, it might enter a bit of a different territory.
Look,
wasn't sure.
What the ATO is looking for, and you hinted at this, or Customs hinted at this, yeah, Greg C, I did, and I know it was a bit of a joke. Customs aren't incorrect in that if it's being sold not in relation to its spot price, so it doesn't constantly move with spot, the ATO would argue that it's now entered collector territory and it does actually incur GST. I would still argue the point, because if we got one here, and I'm quite happy for you to reference us, If we got one in, it would absolutely be sold in relation to spot price. And when we listed it on our website, it would move up and down in relation to spot. So they are still being sold in relation to spot price. And that is the argument I'd put my foot forward with. But you are correct. Once things start becoming a fixed price, that is generally the point where the ATO would start to say, actually, no, this has now entered the realms of collector territory. It now incurs GST technically, but you're really starting to get into the weeds with that one. It may even, if they really do start to push down that line, I would actually go for a private ruling on it and really push them, make them actually back it up with some legislation.
Yeah, it seems a bit strange that they've got just a blanket rule for it of just anything, any coin has to be charged with GST, and it's like, hang on a minute.
Well,
I think it's a classic case of just government departments not talking to each other or knowing their own rules, I think.
I mean, we saw this happen in the US recently with, somebody asked the US customs, what happens with my kilo bar of gold and with the tariffs, and all of a sudden there was this explosion of holy mackerel, there's tariffs on 100-ounce and 1 kilo gold bars into the US. Now, it was obviously just, some civil servant getting ahead of themselves, and it was fairly quickly dealt with. I mean, it reached presidential level, which I really honestly can't believe. And Trump, for all his faults, turned around and said, no, don't be ridiculous. And it was, it was put back in its place. Everyone makes mistakes, whether you're a normal human or a civil servant. It's just the way it is. And this, I would argue, I don't work for customs, I don't work for the ATO, but I would argue this is just a simple mistake that just needs tidying up in the easiest way you possibly can get it.
We've got Mark Newcomb in chat. Good to see you, mate. Says, hi guys, I'm looking at selling some $200 coins. Should I send them individually or as a single package? Just worried about Australia Post going missing. It's only 4 coins, but it adds up.
Okay, so Ozpost have some interesting rules, and we can kick off the US disaster later on if you want. But with Australia Post, you are not allowed to ship bars of gold or silver, but you can ship coins, which is what this is in this case. So, Mark, you can actually get insurance from Australia Post if you're worried about it. Inquire as to their insurance. And they will insure the parcel if it does go missing. Alternatively, you're absolutely right. You can set them in one at a time. Because don't forget, I can't tell you the exact price off the top of my head, but they're certainly well over $1,000 now. So, if you're sending in 4, you're sending $4,000. It's a serious amount of money, mate.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not the kind of thing you want go and walk about. Michelle inquiring about the Scottsdale Christmas coins and if we'd put in any order.
Geez, they look good.
Yeah.
Love those.
Sorry?
We've got a magic trick. Look who it is.
You should have seen him doing the commando crawl over the ground here to try and get under the cameras.
Were over, but...
Don't ruin the Hollywood magic, Michael.
We'll absolutely be getting some in. It's funny this year. You can tell that a lot of the mints around the world have excess capacity now because we're seeing variations in the Diwali coins. We're seeing variations in the Christmas coins. Royal Canadian Mints just sent us their list of Christmas coins they're bringing out. Look very schmick.
Oh, I haven't seen those. Looking forward to that.
Typical Royal Canadian Mint quality. Yeah. I don't know if we'll get them all in or not, but we'll certainly poke around a few of them. So, the short answer to a very short question that should have been a very short answer was yes, we will be getting some in.
When do you think we'll actually place that order? And actually pick which
it's
ones?
either been placed or it is about to be placed. I'm not sure which side of the fence we're falling on. I'd have to confirm that with Alex.
It's scary
with Adam.
It's scary when you've got to start doing the Christmas shopping now.
Mate, we were starting Christmas shopping like 2 or 3 months ago for here. It was just ridiculous.
Oh dear. Kind of following on from that, an interesting discussion to have. I know you got some information for us, Michael. Question from Silvermad. Says, lads, I know as of Monday the 1st, the Lunars are for pre-order only at Bullion Now, but wondering what sizes will be the first to be out.
All sizes except for the 10 kilo coin.
The 10 kilo. That's the first that I've seen.
It's the first since COVID.
Yeah.
They used to,
which was
pre-COVID,
basically Series 3. So this is the first time within Series 3.
Absolutely, it is. And a chunk of Series 2 as
Yeah.
well. Before COVID, they used to get them all out pretty much together. Since I think it was the year before COVID, but I'm a little rusty on this. But yeah, they've been very selective releases. As I mentioned a moment ago, over the Christmas coins, you can tell that mints are starting to have spare capacity now. So they've got that excess room to actually produce these. And to Perth Mint's credit, this time round, they've produced all of them, with the exception of the 10 kegger, which I don't think has ever been produced at the same time.
Yeah, that was quite a surprise. So, because I know I was always after the 120ths.
Yeah,
Making those for
well, they're cheap
presents,
and cheerful.
Yeah.
They really are.
Do you think they'll get? Oh, sorry. Go
I was
on.
just going to say, you've got to have your glasses on to actually see the detail in them. But they're cheap and cheerful. They're a great present.
Do you think there'll actually be pushback on that? In as far as I know, in the past, it kind of allowed people to get a bit of a flurry for them on release, and then sometime next year, the 5 ounce would come out, the kilo would come out a bit later, and it almost staged it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it feels a bit unfair to Perth Mint because we've been sitting there saying, come on, give them to us on release day. But I'm interested to know what people think, if it's actually a good thing that they're all coming out at once, because there's a chance that some might sell out earlier now. We might actually sell out of quite a few of them now before Chinese New Year next year, like the actual New Year's Day.
I suspect, like the 5 ounce was always the very limited number. And I still think it'll be one of the smallest overall productions when we look back at the mintage numbers.
Yep.
However, you're going to find that because they're producing them this early, they're going to have the capacity to keep producing them throughout late this year and early next year. So I actually don't think we're going to run out before. We will absolutely run out of the 1 ounce. Let me clarify that. But we won't run out of the other sizes before the Lunar New Year, I'd suggest. Just on that, a couple of things on that. The 1 ounce is all the others are mint to order, which people go, oh, they're unlimited. The other sizes, other than 1 ounce. I caution you with that thought, because if you go back and look at the mintage numbers, you'll see that most of the other ones have very limited mintages because people don't buy them because they think they're unlimited. And so usually what happens is they're the ones that actually start increasing in price later on because people are trying to complete their sets, and not many have been produced because they weren't many produced for the year. They are only produced for that year. They're not produced, forever. So come kind of June next year, they'll stop producing the horse and they will start producing... I can't remember what's next. I really should look that
I'm kind of learning the lunar calendar as we go through Series 3.
Don't get caught out in that trap. If you want the other sizes, get them earlier rather than later, because you may end up missing out if they ever, don't produce more for some reason. On the 1 ounces, they are limited to, good grief, I should have looked this up. It's 30,000 in the gold, 300,000 in the silver, 5,000 in the platinum. Now, remember, they sound like big numbers, but that is worldwide, and they are incredibly popular series, despite the fact that a lot of mints now produce the Lunar animals. Perth Mints are considered to be one of the best, and they're also one of the earliest launching. So you will find out they will sell out fairly quickly, across all of them. The platinum will sell out fairly quickly amongst everywhere. If Perth Mint pull the same stunt they did last year, where they kept a good chunk of them for themselves, you may be able to get them from Perth Mint for a little bit longer. The 1 ounce silver is usually the next one to sell out, and that usually lasts a few weeks. And then the 1 ounce gold follows closely behind, and that's usually sold out by Christmas without too much drama. That's going on normal numbers. Obviously, we don't know until everything kicks off. The horse is a good design. It's popular. It's popular outside of the Bullion /Numismatic /stacker community, because obviously horses are a big deal around the world, to be honest. So I'm expecting this one to sell out fairly quickly, unlike some of the other animals which don't sell out quite as quickly, because it will have that broad appeal across several industries.
I saw that trying to complete when I was trying to complete my Lunar Series 2 in the 1 ounce silvers, and the horse kept its premium. I was just seeing a lot more sales of, because normally you see the tiger and the dragon obviously being the most popular, usually the first one in the series as well, but the horse, I remember that.
Yeah,
that stood out.
Everyone thinks the dragon is going to be the hard one to get hold of. And the problem is everyone buys extra dragons because
they think
that it's going to go up in value. It's the dragon.
Yeah.
Everyone wants it. And then everyone's got spares. And so it takes a long time for the market to swallow that excess capacity. Whereas the other sizes the other animals you'll find quite often they're the hardest ones. Yeah. And you'll usually find the horse, the ox, and one of the others. It's the horse and the ox.
For which the...
are usually the hardest ones to find.
Ox is?
Yeah, it's the horse, the ox.
That was my white whale.
There's another one as well.
The ox was my white whale for the series 2. I had to go outside of Australia to get... Yeah.
The ox always, it's a cow. It's always surprises me that it's the hardest one to find, but I think it's the hardest one to find because it's a cow.
Ox sounds better. It's a cow with better branding, if you will.
A better PR.
That's what I was looking for. It's like branding was the pun, so
it's like the mouse versus the rat.
Yeah, that's right.
No, that does my head in, especially coming from a Chinese medical background and the charts and the times and hours, and that still does my head in. But
for anyone, and I can't remember. I think it was Desi asked the question. I won't be offended. For the guys that are going across to the Perth Mint for the launch, I won't be offended if you buy them from there.
Yeah,
Desi, I'd rather you got them from us, but I understand that
he won't be offended, Desi, because we know you wouldn't do that. So no,
not offended, just disappointed.
Some questions for you, Alex. Greg wants to know how big the sale was that held you up.
How big? It was about 100 grams worth of gold for a new customer. With lots of questions, ID taking. So rather than rush through it, just did it all properly.
That's what we're meant to do, particularly with new customers. We like to just take our time and answer any questions. Because, 100 grams, what's that? I know I should know this. 17 grand, give or take.
Alex should know this. He just sold one.
No, I created everything, and then I had this image burning in my head of Ruben doing this from the door just before the late stream started. So I created all the accounts, talked to Jen through everything, showed him all the goods, and then I handballed it to Kyle because it got a bit quiet, and then Kyle took over the sale.
Yeah. Look, it's about $17,000. It's not chump change. You want to sit there and answer stand there and answer all the questions that they've got, because you don't want them going home going, but I didn't ask and I'm not sure, and man,
and people think, but you're making 17 grand, and no, we're not.
We're making about $1.70 out of it, so that's irrelevant.
And again, one is the good customer service, but the other thing is the education, and the third thing, that's part of the good, in my opinion,
absolutely
part of the package, but it's also about making, like you said, making them feel like they got their money's worth in the understanding of what they're doing. And
there's nothing worse when you leave a store and you kind of feel like you've been, you've spent money there and they've kind of pushed you out of the door and they don't, it's like, right, we're done, see you later.
And that's the thing, because I can't stand that from any business. So I always...
customer service is, I'm getting on my hobby horse here, but customer service is really, really easy. Just treat the other person like you want to be treated. When I go into a place and I really don't know, I'd like them to spend the time with me and actually answer all my questions and calm me down a bit.
I literally said that same thing to the other guys that came from Queensland. Yeah, we had one coming to Queensland to buy from us. Rather than, So, I said the exact same things to him because, that's really cool how you do that. I'm only doing to you what I'd like you to do to me if you were standing on this side and I was standing where you are. So. Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started about customer service in Australia.
Malta Convoy was a bit more suspicious, Alex. Well, actually, they weren't throwing the accusation at you, but they said the available retail supplies of Palladium bars in the USA seems to be drying up. Where's the demand coming from? And I think Drogue said it was all in your pocket.
And that's what I responded to him, saying that's why I was late, because the weight took me down. I couldn't get here on time. But
that's it. But where's the extra demand for Palladium coming from? Is that anything we're aware of or looking at? Or
Palladium, it's not so much demand. Well, no, that's not true. It is demand. So there is more interest in bullion and in stacking and in alternatives to putting your money in the bank or in shares, those types of things. So there's more research being done. So there's more general interest in your likes of platinum and palladium, and to a small degree rhodium. There's also industry is more interested because the platinum, the palladium and rhodium, and we've been talking about this particularly with platinum and palladium for a couple of years now. The newer technologies that are coming out are very much based on these metals. So industry is requiring more and more of them to satisfy demand. So it's kind of a bit of a feedback loop. One's more interested, so the other's more interested, and that's driving the price up. So other people are becoming interested. One of the interesting discussions that I had over and over in Oklahoma last week with the manufacturers, slightly to do with palladium, but more to do with platinum as well, is, and I hinted at this before, is the leasing rates on it are causing a massive increase in the premium above spot. So no one except for the Perth Mint is currently producing platinum in any form. Wow. Everyone else, and I'm sure there's one or two out there that I haven't spoken to, but certainly all the majors that we spoke to, and we're talking to, the Austrian Mint, the Royal Mint, the likes of Scottsdale, all these guys, they're big boys. And I'm not having a go at any of them, but they're all turning around saying, no, we've put all that manufacturing to the side because the leasing rates are just too great. Wow. And as I said last week, I think we're on the edge of a re-rating, whether of spot price or not, I don't know. I have my suspicions on spot, but particularly on premium, I think we're on the verge of premiums jumping quite a lot. Yeah, coming up.
On that note, just quickly, I'll answer one question from Stephen Bayer, and I'll also add to yours. One of the other things on the back is palladium. Like when I looked at it, and do you remember the days when I was still going for a palladium maple? You two, for years now.
That was that thing in the States that I was looking at the other day that I was going to bring back.
Don't even get me going. But the price,
they were going to give me a deal on five of the
maples. I bought them all. See what I have to deal with. But the price has gone from 4,000 to 2,000. So that's a big that's a big shift. And so many people that we've spoken to and see through the shop have really started collecting during lockdowns and around that time period of 2020 onwards. So, when they were looking at palladium, especially in Australia with the extra 10% GST you have to pay on it, it was quite expensive, whereas now it's dropped by about 50% in our terms. Yeah. So that also makes it attractive. The other thing that Stephen Bayer said, if palladium starts to become more popular, do you foresee BN ever buying it back? We actually buy back.
We buy back now.
We buy it back. We don't buy back copper. Yet?
Well, we actually have bought back copper.
Oh, I did it. What did I miss in the start of the show?
Somebody, I'm a sucker.
Well, we do buy back palladium. It's bought back at 90% off spot, but we do buy back, and as far as I know, since I became a customer in 2020, it was even back then that was bought back. So it is palladium. We do buy back, and we do from time to time have buyback palladium bars. Usually, it's in the 1 ounce size.
I can see a time coming where we need to re-rate that buyback and possibly increase it again. Yeah. So it's really we set the price because it's our business. We set the price, or the rate that we buy it back at. But it's also quite heavily dictated by the buybacks from the refineries because we need to know that we can get rid of it sort of thing. But palladium is becoming more and more popular, even if it's only amongst the staff. So
actually, all right, I know there's all these rumours and accusations flying like daggers towards me, but I didn't even get to pick up one. They sold out so quick, and that actually really shocked me. And that was from the 2 batches that came in. I was going to pick up one, and then someone came in and asked at the shop, and I'm like, just take it, because I knew we had one more incoming. Yeah. But that still really shocked me, and just because you do pay a bit of a premium. It is a PAMP. It's absolutely gorgeous. Those 1 gram palladium ladyfoot tuners are beautiful. But I really was surprised at just how quick they flew out the door.
It's interesting. We talked to PAMP about those again, and they're not interested in making any more unless we order a big enough batch. So Adam's currently trying to convince me to buy a big enough batch because...
Well, you heard it here. So if you just start firing away on the live chat and in the comments section after you watch this video.
Good fun.
I don't want to spend too long on this one because I think it's kind of one of those slightly just hypothetical, what could the future hold ones. But it's from Christian, who I think they said before was from Holland. It says, question, if the CBDC is continued, can I still buy or sell gold from you? Or is that the end of gold and silver buying and selling?
Look, you never say never because it's bitten me on the backside way too often. I have noticed that, David. But I can't see a time in Australia at this point where we won't be able to sell gold, even with the CBDCs.
But we'll wait and see. That's it. Like I said, it is a bit hypothetical and, based on things we don't know, but if that's your gut feeling.
In a wider circle, it's hypothetical and we don't know. No one really knows. I can tell you in my circles, it's absolutely, a lot of people I know and deal with and trade with is in bullion as well.
Yeah,
but again, everyone. This is the importance. This is one of the important things of that Lynette Zhang's pillars of what she says. Food security.
Yeah,
all that. One of them that not many
she
people
didn't come up with that, don't you? That's been around for a long time.
I know, but she's popularising it within the stacking community. But the one that I say is actually the strongest is one that's probably looked at by the least in the prepping community, and that's community.
Oh, absolutely.
So one of the things I stack is relationships and contacts, and I've been doing that actually most of my life. So I've got a good feel in knowing people who, you can pay not just in cash, or you can exchange services. I do acupuncture, massage, all that. I might trade with someone else for some of their work. I might use bullion, might use, privacy coins, anything like that. Cash, of course. So it's a matter of knowing people and setting up for the future. You can't just sort of buy one thing or stack one and hope for the best. You just really got to create the best for yourself.
There's a request there from Stephen to actually speak into your microphone, if you can, please. Yeah, thank you.
What was that? I thought it was. Sorry, if I was here at the start.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, the Australian Reserve Bank has come out and said that they're not interested in I always get this the wrong way around, CBDC, CDBC. Whichever way around that goes, they're not interested in doing one on a retail level. They're only going to do them on wholesale levels. So even from that perspective, I don't think we're going to lose them. But things change. But I think you hit the nail on the head with the community thing. Like, we do miss that as stackers quite a lot. We become lone wolves quite often and forget about actually more important than your gold and silver is that community and having those contacts. And I've said this a couple of times, and we should probably sit down and actually do interview you properly, Alex. But you bring a lot of us stack because of what we read. A lot of us stack because, like in my case, I have had to do a runner because of bushfires and those types of things. So I get it from that side. But you bring that angle of actually political asylum. You've actually needed to do the runner because of political persecution. So you bring that different view onto stacking and why it's important, but also the surroundings of it. So one day we should actually sit down and
that would be good.
Discuss
and
that
different exit strategies. And that's a lot of things. Even that people don't think about exit strategies, but that's another separate thing altogether as well.
Yeah.
One from Chris that sounds like it's going to be a bit of a big effort for someone next month. They say, I need to get about 23 kilos out of storage next month. Will it be sent as one large box or multiple smaller packages?
No, we don't tend to send 23 kilos of gold out in one lump.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
No, look, we'll ship it out.
No, for a sec, he's going, do they think I've got gold? He's really making retirement plans.
Yeah, that's right. 23. I'm trying to think of the value of it. It probably will go out in 2 parcels.
Yeah. At least 2, I would suggest.
Well, it shouldn't. Like insurance-wise, it should be. It's not actually the weight; it's the insurance side of it. So yeah, it should be right. It should be 2 parcels, I think.
I need you to put your numismatic hat on for a second, Michael. I'm not sure if we'll be able to answer this one without Matt here. But Costas says, I have a 1897 Queen Victoria Younghead St. George gold coin, so a sovereign. What is the price for these coins? Is there any extra value for an 1897?
Not really. It would depend on condition, obviously, but you might spot price through to probably a couple of hundred over spot would be my answer on that one, depending on its condition.
Alrighty, what else have I got for us? I wanted to take a look at. I found these. This is one of the ones I found on Instagram. There's actually a couple that I found this week. But I wanted to take a look at these, and I'm not sure if I'm standing on anyone's toes here because I'm not sure if we've arranged a deal to be dealing with these guys in the future. So I might be shouting out someone here. But I thought these are really cool. Hobart Mint have dropped a 20 gram little button bar. And I thought that was a cool idea. We see the half ounce. Obviously, this is a bit bigger than the half ounce, but I thought it was a pretty neat idea. So cool to see them trying something a bit different there.
Yeah,
I love it. Sorry, I'm already picturing my BN work vest with the buttons as that. So again, I'm looking at things in a bit of a different way, but that looks beautiful.
I'm down there in a couple of weeks to actually see Hobart Mint. I'm hoping to bring some back with me. So we should have them in stock within a month or so, I hope. I haven't sprung that on Hobart Mint yet. They do an incredible job down there. And interestingly enough, when I was at A&A in the States, I had a couple of the companies actually ask me about Hobart Mint. So they're actually making ripples around the world.
There you go.
So I don't know if the guys down there are listening, but there's a number of overseas mints that are actually saying, have you seen the Hobart Mint
away
stuff?
from Van
There's
Diemen's
a new
Land.
kid on the block.
It's like, actually, I can probably put you in on a line of those if you need.
You might have asked this one while you guys were talking about Palladium before, but is there any plans for unallocated Palladium?
Only once I can hedge it properly. It's a difficult metal to hedge currently. You can get CFDs on it and that type of stuff, but they're always come with their own set of risks. So I don't like playing around with those on a company level. I might play around with them myself personally, but I wouldn't play around with those on a company level. So once I can get what I would consider to be a safe, satisfactory hedging mechanism for them, at that point I will look at introducing it for the unallocated.
We've had quite a number of people ask that over, I think, about last 6 months, six or so months.
Look, I think you're right. The popularity is increasing, and I think it's a good idea. I also have to hit up my accountant, who's going to kill me because he hates these questions about unallocated Palladium and GST.
Okay. Once they've sorted that,
tricky.
we can get onto unallocated rhodium.
I can already see the expression on his face when I ask him, but I wonder why my accounting bill's so flaming dear these days.
One from Utah Get Me Too. It says, question, why is there no platinum kangaroos on the website for quite a while if the Perth Mint has stock?
Are you talking about the BN website or the Perth Mint website?
No, they're not on ours, but they are available on Perth Mint, so why can't we get them if Perth Mint
that's
have them?
interesting, because on a plane ride on the way home, I said to Adzi, are we ordering these? And he said, we've got heaps of them. They're listed on the web.
Yeah.
And which ones are these?
We're talking platinum kangaroos? Yeah, the platinum kangaroos. Adzi, if you're listening, what the heck?
Pull over and slap yourself.
Yeah, I've just looked at our platinum section and there's no kangaroos there. So.
Right. We will fix that problem.
We've got them, we're just not selling them. Keeping them all for ourselves.
That could be why we're going, gee, they're not very popular now. No one's buying these kangaroos.
You spoke a little bit about America, and I know you had your diary for some more specifics potentially, but is there anything else that you can tell us as a bit of a summary from any of the specific mints or people you spoke to over in America? I know we got a little bit from you from when you were over in the States. We did the video call in, but is there anything else we've missed that people might want to know about?
Look, there is and there isn't. There's some stuff that we're not allowed to, obviously, still under embargo, we can't talk about. But we met with the likes of the US Mint, and that was fascinating. There's potential there, but they have a minimum order size of 100,000 ounces of gold.
Okay.
So when they said that, I kind of went, that's a lot. It wasn't in one order. The way they explained it initially, I thought, man, that's a lot in one order, but you can actually spread that out over the year. But even 100,000 ounces of gold in a year is still from one
How much?
mint,
100?
100,000 ounces of gold. Silver was an equally ridiculous number. And what you've got to remember is that because we're Australian, and I explained this to them, their most popular product, the Gold Eagle, incurs GST over here, so it's not quite as popular. So it's like,
that's a lot of buffaloes.
That's right.
A lot of gold buffs.
So that was an interesting conversation, but they were really good. They've got some really good numismatic stuff coming out. We also met with the Royal Australian Mint, so continuing discussions with them. They've got some really good stuff coming out. They had a really good crew over there. It was really good discussions that we got into with them. We met up with Germania Mint. Always great to catch up with the people from Germania Mint. They're as chirpy as ever. And they are really pushing the boundaries again with some of their technologies and products they're producing. So I look forward to being able to bring some of those into the country because they look like some of them are just.
I look forward to the unbox. I look forward to when the black packaging comes in. And you're like, I know this is from Germania, and I know it's going to be cool. I don't know what it is.
That's right.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah.
So they've got some really good stuff coming in, and very tentatively, early stages, we've actually started a discussion about a BN series with them.
Ooh.
So, but a lot of things to go before
Spoilers.
that comes off. Had a really, really good discussion with Scottsdale Mint. Again, a lot of that discussion was about platinum and the issues with platinum with the leasing costs and that sort of stuff. They've got a lot of good stuff coming out. We're probably going to do some exclusives with them, and possibly they're going to be part of this junior stacker program that we spoke about. So
keen on that.
Yeah. So that was I was partly disappointing because this grand idea I had with this junior stacker bar, they went engineeringly impossible, and I went, damn it. But they actually came up with some really good ideas that they could do around that. So I'm hoping we've moved forward quite a bit on that one. So that was really good. We met up with the Perth Mint, always interesting. That was actually the last meeting we had over there was with the Perth Mint. And poor Neil, if you're listening to this, mate, I've got to apologise because he'd had a long week, we'd had a very long week, and the whole meeting was and in the end Neil goes, let's stop it there. We're both going to be in Perth in a couple of weeks. Let's just continue this when we get over there. So that was an interesting discussion in itself. But yeah, a lot of fun with those guys. We met with the Czech Mint. They are amazing.
Check them out.
Yes, we certainly checked. We actually went out to lunch with them as well. But the products they're producing are just beautiful. A couple of items over there they're the only ones producing that style of thing. They had, you're not going to believe this, one of the coins I really liked, they had an aeroplane coin.
Wow.
You like airplanes?
But it was a coin, and you could actually, if you shone the light towards you through part of the coin, it had a couple of little aeroplanes in there. But if you shone it from the other side, it projected these airplanes onto the wall.
Yeah.
Incredible
I have to see
stuff.
that.
Yeah, it was just fantastic.
It's one thing to hear something like that, but you got to see it.
So that was fantastic, and something they shocked me with is they said, like we've cut back. We were producing 500 issues a year. We've cut that back to about 300 now. I think 300 a year? Are you kidding me? Wow. So a lot of that is internally for Czech, but just to produce that level of coinage, and the guy in charge of manufacturing was sitting there, and he's just going, "Oh mate."
I'm gonna look because most of these are numismatics. Their products are numismatics.
A chunk of them. They also produce. What's the animal of Czech? Is it the lion? Yeah, it's the lion, isn't it? They produce some bullion lion coins, and they are absolute stunners.
If it's the one that I have at home, that came in as a buy. Remember with your when you brought in like how many tons of silver? There was one Czech one, and it was pure like 1 ounce coin, but it was just stunning.
Yeah, they're doing a gold range of those, and they're bullion coins, and they look fantastic. And Yeah, can't talk too much else about that one. But yeah, look great. And hoping to get hold of some of those in the not too distant future. Bring those in. Who else do we meet with? We touched base with New Zealand Mint and Agoro. So they've got some exciting stuff coming out as well, which will be great to see. And they've got some stuff that they're... For those that don't know, New Zealand Mint is not the National Mint of New Zealand. And they are more of a... I don't think they'll be offended by me saying this. They're more of a marketing company than they don't actually produce pretty much anything themselves. But they are starting to wind that up again. So they do have some manufacturing capability, and they're looking at reintroducing some of their stuff and manufacturing it. So really looking forward to that. And then we've got a follow-up meeting with them next week, so that'll be great.
Oh, very good.
Awesome.
Love their products, and some of these movie tie-ins, they're breathtaking. I mean, I'm a huge Goonies fan, and they released some Goonies stuff.
Goonies
and
stuff.
I'm like, I'm just melting.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for a Big Trouble in Little China big anniversary next year, but we'll see.
We caught up with the Austrian Mint again. That was great. They're doing some big stuff. And I don't have my diary with me, so I can't remember any of the others off the top of my head.
But it's safe to say you were super busy with meetings.
Oh, mate. We had the one day off. So we arrived very late, like 11 p.m. or something stupid.
People know what you did on the day off.
Yeah, that's right. On a Saturday night. On the Sunday, we did a little bit of R&R and took in the local themes of the US. And then Monday, we hit the ground running, and it was basically back-to-back meetings all the way until we left on Saturday morning. And I won't make the mistake of coming back through Japan again. As much as I love Japan, a beautiful place, but that dog leg just added that few too many hours.
Did you guys have any time to go
into Japan?
Yeah?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I love been to Japan a few times. I love Japan.
It's a stunning place.
Incredible.
So, beautiful people, like
excellent burgers, freshness burger. I'd recommend. It's like a grilled.
Whenever I go to Japan, there's always some basic technology that spins my dials. So in the lounge in the airport there in Narita, they had this machine that poured beers, but it picked the glass up, tilted it properly, and then poured it. So it got the perfect head on it, and it's like everyone's there filming this thing that's pouring these perfect beers, one after another.
In terms of vending machines, we're still in the dark ages compared to Japan, and I'm talking from last I was there was 2010.
Yeah,
and even compared to that, I don't know what they have now.
Yeah. It's just simple things like that. You go, wow, who thought of that? And then how did they get it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're way off topic now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to tear us away from Japanese beer pouring machines. I'm going to pitch something potentially controversial. I think we do some rapid fire questions now because there's been some really good questions coming in. We're not at that point of the stream yet, but I want to hit some of these questions and I don't want to miss them. Quickly, just from Ozguy, any half-ounce gold buybacks available? I think it's been quite a popular size. I haven't.
It was this morning.
Not in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I had a look. Sold. Yeah, no, because someone wanted some half ounces and there were none.
Did Michael run into any Australian bullion dealers whilst in the US?
I did, randomly. I'm wandering around the ANA conference area where, like the display area, it's kind of like Ander on steroids because it's huge. And there was a guy there doing something and I made some comment about, you're knocking off yet? And he goes, you're Australian. And he was from Sydney. He was a coin dealer from up there, and it was
awesome.
Yeah, we had a good old chat. So that was great.
Yeah, it's not hard to miss the Aussie accent.
That's right.
Especially our colloquialisms as well. Yeah.
When you talk about the leasing of platinum, what do you mean? Not for rapid fire?
Not for rapid fire. Come back to me on that one. We'll do a video on it.
I was just going to say, check out the upcoming video. Yeah.
What are the chances of Bullion Now obtaining US silver and gold buffaloes from the Golden State Mint?
Yeah, we could do that.
Will Little Coin Shop be getting in any numismatics from the Royal Canadian Mint?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Is Little Coin Shop getting the Germania Mint holographic Mystical Forest Leaves series?
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that one. If a few people want them, we will.
This is going to be a non-financial advice one from Matthew here. In your opinion, about to make a decent purchase in an allocated... They say in an allocated. I'm not sure if they're unallocated or in an allocated. Anyway, is it best to hedge over the next month or two, or buy all at once as it will be invested for the next 10 years?
I don't think it really matters. I'm a big fan of dollar cost averaging in, but that's just me. I know some people would rather go, no, look, I like the price today. I just want it over done with, and bang, I'll do it. If the price was, like if it took a hit, like we wake up tomorrow and it's dropped $100, $200 an ounce, I'd go boots and all. But, you know, if the price has been fairly stable of late, I'd dollar cost average in over a month or two. I don't know. Alex, you want to add to that?
No.
Okay.
That's good.
Are we getting in any more of the Aztec coins?
They were super popular.
I don't know.
And I think they're all pretty much sold out.
We've got some 110s, haven't we? In the
110s
Aztecs?
we do. Actually, the detail on the 110s are pretty damn cool.
It's amazing. I still need my glasses on to see it, but the detail's actually there.
Yeah, the 1 ounces all sold while you were on a plane, Michael. They went really fast.
I was going to say, I thought we had some of those.
Yeah, no, they all went.
A popular day, was it?
Are we expecting any 500-gram Germania cast silver bars anytime soon? The 500-gram silver has been such a popular size.
That's another one I would have said we had in stock. Have you guys been specialing things while I've been away?
Not with those.
Sorry, on that note, someone I didn't get a chance to respond to that comment. Oh, we all know Michael does. It was funny because Michael asked us if there was a special that we're doing or running, and it was Adam, I think, that organised it as well, which is when you found out. So it's fun working at BN. There's different things that happen that you'd think wouldn't happen, but yeah.
Any Star Wars silver releases from the New Zealand Mint?
Yeah, there is another one coming up.
I love those posters, by the way. They were incredible. Yeah.
Any update on Perth Mint 10-ounce silver bars?
They are coming very soon. Neil wouldn't give me a date, but I'm expecting in the new year.
I sold you guys 7.5 ounces of half ounce today. Someone there has put it into their special things. No, it'll just be that we haven't gotten through organising it yet.
Or it's already gone out the door.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's cool. No, it's being processed, so.
Okay.
Can we get sovereigns in?
We usually have sovereigns. So if they're not on the website, just give us a call and or drop into the store, and we can usually find you some.
What happens if you accidentally send a small gold bar via Ozpost?
Ozpost, if they find out about it, will get cranky. And they get cranky with me. I got a nasty gram from them a while ago saying, you're telling people to send it via Australia Post and, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't. I haven't.
Aaron looks up, wants to know if we're getting in the Royal Mint, the coat of arms.
Yes.
In multiple weights and metals?
Don't push me too hard, but I think so, yes.
No worries. How much dollar value in bullion can one sell back and it's not recorded? We take ID for any amount sold back. There is different reporting requirements for cash, just like any business in Australia, but we require ID for all buybacks.
Even a 1/10 silver.
Yeah.
You can be sure that if you're doing a transaction, whether it's cash or whether it's bank transfer, you can be sure that it will go through the system.
Yeah.
That's whoever you're dealing with.
Yeah. Michael, what's your recommendations for 300 GR of melted detector gold to sell?
Well, it's going to go scrap. So 300 grams of gold that you've picked up, metal detecting, it's going to go as scrap. Find whoever's going to give you the best deal on scrap. Adelaide's probably closer for you, so no comment.
Hi guys, are you getting in the Germania Gold multi-bar, the 100 by 1 gram?
We've had them in.
We had them, yeah.
I know we've got some on order. I don't know if we don't have any at the moment or not.
I'm not sure if they've arrived or not.
Yeah, okay. If we don't have them right now, they'll be in very soon.
Wonka bars, we've said no update till October. Yeah.
They look good though.
Mike Ellery saying, yet you can buy gold coins off Australia Post and they post them.
Coins are fine. It's bars they don't like. Yeah. What cracks me up is that I can ship a kilo gold coin through Australia Post. They have no issue with it. I cannot send a 1 gram gold bar. because it's too risky. Work that one out. And I pointed that out to them, and they just shrugged their shoulders. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to put it on pause there for a bit, just because I think we will fill out the rest of the stream with this otherwise, and there's a few other things I want to hit. But yeah, if I have missed any, we will do another little rapid fire at the end to make sure we don't miss any questions. I say that as well because we're a little bit late to something that I was hoping to get onto a little bit earlier because it's now jumped up quite a bit in price, and that is the auction we are running for today. We are doing a 1 ounce gold piece, and when I last looked at it, it was up there for $6, and I'm like, great, I'll come back to that in a bit.
What a bargain!
We'll talk about that, and it's now up to 5,100. So it's moving
still below
upwards.
spot.
It's still below spot, but I don't think.
For what I think it is,
Yes.
yeah, it's still a bargain.
Yes.
Still a bargain.
It's still a bargain.
So we are looking at a 1 ounce gold bar that Michael's got there, and I will do a very cool zoom in. Voila, there we go. Totally not a different picture of it. We are looking at Deek International Australia, and one of their bars produced in the 80s, and very highly sought after. I'm not sure if it's entirely for the backstory behind it or if it's just considered one of the really, really cool vintage bars. But if anyone doesn't know, the story behind the Deek International bars is just a very, very interesting one. So produced by Nicholas Deek, born in 1905. And had a bit of an interesting life story. We're talking dealing with the serving in the OSS during World War II. And the CIA during the Cold War. He then started up a financial group that was involved in fronts for CIA operations, scandaling, money laundering, you name it, laundered money for Latin American drug traffickers. There was Lockheed bribery scandals and smuggling currency, all that kind of stuff. But one of the other interesting things...
It's a Grisham novel.
Yeah.
It very much is.
Itself.
One of the other interesting things about this guy and these bars is how he died in 1985. And it's a fascinating story, and I'd recommend reading up on it if you haven't before. But there was, in 1985, a woman called Lois Lang entered his office and shot and killed both Deek and his receptionist. And was later tried by a court and put into an insane asylum. But when you've had that kind of checkered past,
you gotta wonder.
Lots of questions start to be asked when you're running lots of different operations like that. So, very, very interesting story. We recommend reading up on it. But
very interesting history on it. Yeah, that's what I say. It's a bug, and it's actually a beautiful coin. And I've seen a number of these throughout the couple of years I've been here. And this is probably one of the best condition ones that I've seen on both sides.
I don't know if we can get. Have you got a photo of the?
I
the
do.
Other side?
My thing for letting me see in advance what the scene's going to look like. There we go. It doesn't seem to be working, but there we go.
Because sometimes one of them is a lot more worn down on one side than the other, and these are pretty good examples of on either side. Yeah. A good example of a good example.
Yeah, so a fascinating bar, a fascinating bar with a fascinating history and a cool design as well. And up for auction, which I believe runs till Sunday evening sometime.
It's got 2 days and 1 hour and 27 minutes on it. So yeah, Sunday evening.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
late afternoon. So if you'd like a piece of CIA / Grisham novel history. There's one going up right there.
I'm actually very interested. I want to look at this a little bit more. I might have to do some digging with you, Alex. The person who took over from him after 1985 basically said, there was absolutely something fishy going on here. He claims to have a photo that the lady who killed him took of his body after he died, and all sorts of things like that, and
proof for payment.
Well, that's it. So and so I believe he's now retired, but he is still alive. So very, very interesting. Very interesting story.
Which is why I picked it out to see if someone really would be interested, because I find that whole thing when I first heard about it years ago, it just captivated me. Just that, and this is why I like vintage stuff. This is why I like and we briefly touched upon it in the store again with someone with the old coins like the Sovs and that, and the history behind things. I'm just a sucker for it.
Astro Boy asking how many of these bars exists.
I couldn't honestly tell you that. I'm not. Is it in that book? I know this is the Deek International Australia edition, but alphabetical order, mate. D comes before G.
I haven't had my coffee because the plan was at 2:00 to have it for here. But
there we go.
Deek, here we go.
So you got to get the right one because there's a couple of different breeds.
Turn to the book.
Yes, it is. So it's the second one here. Yeah. 1 ounce gold. So it says Deek 1 ounce gold poured ingot displaying the Deek International Australia with globe stamp on the obverse, with weight and purity on the reverse. Estimating mintage 2,500 minted. Scarce, so under 200 known to exist. Under 200 known to exist at this time. And I'll see if you can. So that's that's that one right there.
Yeah, I don't think people's eyesight's quite that good, mate.
Yeah. But it's the second one here.
So if you've got the book, have a look on page 66.
Yep.
If you haven't got the book, you're going to have to borrow someone's.
Yep. Once again, what a fantastic book and guide.
Oh, yeah.
Which we don't have any more of available, sorry. This would be a great time for a promotion of them, but...
Yes. Yes, it's... one of the best books out there for the Australian port ingots. I would argue it's the best one out there.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I thought that was a cool one. I suspect that will go for a bit. I remember these bars even when I first started, kind of, like pre-COVID, there being quite a lot of interest for these bars out of the US specifically.
Yeah.
So I was always surprised to see even a couple of them flow through our doors, to be honest. But very cool.
I have to admit to having one in my collection.
Silverman says, I called BN earlier this morning and mentioned I would pick up an order I have in free storage. The weather kind of made me change my mind in coming in today, though.
Yeah, a bit worried about the weather. I got to drive up to Mount Hotham this weekend.
Yeah, man, you've got a busy weekend, and then we've got to fly out.
And we've got to get to Perth, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So if I'm looking a bit seedy on Sunday night, you know why.
It's not you, it's him.
That's right.
Something else that I found in my browsings of Instagram on the Bullion Now account this week. This one isn't a new release, but it's actually a historic one that I came across that I'd never seen before, but I thought it was super cool. It's from 2019, and it's got a Fiji thing. And if we take a look there, it's a little shell coin. So this one specifically in the color is a 10-gram silver.
Cool.
I just thought it was such a cool and unique little shape. And
you need one, Alex.
Why did you show me that?
You need one.
For our summer display.
Yeah. So once again, there's a bit of a segment I'm trying to introduce where I see what coin or whatever I can find and highlight. It's not necessarily it's not one that we can get or have coming up. It's not, some kind of promotion or sponsored thing or whatever. It's just what cool stuff can I find that's out there? And I thought that was a very, very cool one from
it's almost
from
not
2019.
100% authentic looking because it's complete. There's no chips on it. That's right. Because when I go down the beach, it's always like hard to find perfect ones.
Did you ever find out who made it?
No, although I did see that I think Argor Horaeus have the license for some of the Fiji stuff, so it could have been them. But yeah, all the links I found online were like, it's for the Reserve Bank of Fiji, and I'm like, yeah, they didn't make that.
Yeah,
wow.
Someone else has done that.
Manufacturing facility for coins in Fiji is not.
No, but you know what? Seeing that wonderful coin reminded me of the tapestry coin.
Oh yeah,
that you guys saw at the Berlin World Money Fair back in 24.
Yeah, 23.
24.
24, okay, 24.
No, I was going to say 23, then I thought, I started in 23, and then you went in the next year, so that was 24, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. You didn't end up picking up, did you, Michael?
No, I didn't.
You wanted to, didn't you?
Always. There's a few people worried about you heading out to the snow, Michael.
Yeah, me too.
What else have we got? We've got where in the world is the Bullion Now bag?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's take a look at where the Bullion Now customers have been getting up to with our Bullion Now bags.
Where in the world is that Bullion Now bag? Where could it be? Can you guess? Let's see.
Alrighty, we've got the first one here, which is just a bit of a fun one. It's not necessarily a location. There's no reference. It kind of says where it is on it, but I thought it was a cool one and a slightly aviation themed, Michael. So I figured you'd find this one cool. This is the travel. This is the on the way to any location featured. Not any location, but a lot of the locations featured in our
Nice.
in our series here. It's on a Boeing 737.
Beautiful.
So very, very cool.
I'm endorsed to fly those.
There you go. But another one that I was kind of keeping as a bit of a secret from you, Michael, and you might find out why afterwards. But take a guess, and everyone in chat as well, if anyone knows where this one is. You can see the Bullion Now bag down there in front of the gate, but standing in front of a very nice looking castle. Made of a certain something.
Yeah, chocolate.
Oh man, now I'm craving chocolate.
Any guesses?
Switzerland?
No.
Damn it. Should have gone with my first thought, which was Belgium, but anyway.
Yeah, BDK's just said Germany. No, not Switzerland. Not Belgium.
Yeah, I was going to go with
Vienna,
Germany.
Swiss. People are guessing all over.
Melbourne.
No, but it is closer to home than some of the guesses that people have been making.
Maybe north.
No, not no. All right, there's been a few guesses. Tasmania, no. We're in Western Australia. That is the Whistler's Chocolate Factory.
We were talking about that today.
Who produced
No,
the
that's Whitaker's.
Oh,
That's New Zealand.
yeah, who produced the Perth Mint chocolate
Yes.
bars.
wow.
And
Best
someone
chocolate on earth.
has been to their headquarters.
Did you bring any back?
Well, I believe this was also the person who sent us the photo of the Perth Mint bars, like the Perth Mint
yeah.
chocolate bars while they were over there. I think they did the tour of the Perth Mint and the Whistler's factory. So
That looks glorious.
Oh, dear.
over in Western Australia, fairly close to home. This last one for this week, I have to say, I think comes up as the most beautiful submission we've had through. This is an absolutely stunning photo, and I have to admit to being a little bit jealous because this place looks absolutely incredible. I'll put that one up there.
You've got too many cameras in the way, mate. I can't see things.
Yeah, sorry. Get it.
Stunning. Cradle Mountain?
Gorgeous.
No.
No, it's not because there's snow in the background there.
That's beautiful.
Plumare's got it in one with the country, and then McDuncan's slam dunk for the follow up. That is New Zealand, Queenstown.
It is.
People are all over that one, but what a stunning place!
Yeah.
And yeah,
Is that where the BN place is going to be?
Yeah, just on top of that.
Oh, beautiful.
If BN's going over there, we're probably going to park ourselves in either Hamilton or Wanaka because that's where the really good aviation museums are.
Should have guessed. No, never been to New Zealand, so that would be that looks ideal.
It's a beautiful place. Yeah. It really is. They have real mountains over there, not like us in Australia where something gets over 300 feet and we call it
talking
a
about
mountain.
You should go to Alinda. Haven't you been to Alinda?
Yeah, good.
Great.
so yeah, thanks for playing along for that one, and thank you to everyone who sends in photos of where they get up to with their Bullion Now bags. We will have some bags with us in Perth, so if you didn't have one, or maybe we might have to do a sneaky submission in for next week or in the coming weeks, so people don't know what's coming. Of one over in Perth somewhere, maybe next to the 1 ton gold coin or something like that. Oz guys asking there, any chance of some chocolate at the Perth Mint tour? Did we ask from Perth if they're going to have some on hand?
I actually forgot all about it. I can't. I'm quite embarrassed that I forgot about their chocolate. I would have.
I just can't believe he forgot
thing.
to ask about the chocolate.
I thought that was top of mind, to be honest. Shows how much stress I was under when I was over there.
Do you know what? I wasn't. Someone was cleaning out the cupboard at home, and I thought I saw a gold glint in the background. I forgot to check, but I might still have one at home. So
Well, I'm taking
update next Friday.
I'm taking an empty suitcase across to Perth just in case I can smuggle some out.
Wow.
You might have to bear with me for a second because my thing to prepare the scenes in the background isn't working, but I wanted to have a bit of a conversation about this. So I'm going to transition to a thing and then I'm going to have to fix it up on the fly here. There we go. I wanted to do a comparison with the older horses and talk about which was your favourite. We can't show the new design as of yet.
Say, you just gave me a heart attack, Bruce, because I can't see them properly because of the cameras. I'm thinking, oh my
What's
goodness.
he done? Ruben's in trouble. No, this is the Series 1 horse and the Series 2 gold horse specifically. And I wanted
Just
to
got
know...
to calm the blood pressure down first, all
Yeah,
right?
sorry about that. I wanted to know between you, and I'll ask the chat as well, maybe do a bit of a poll, what your preference between the Series 1 and the Series 2 are in the gold.
I'll jump in because I have seen the latest design that's going to come out, and I can say that my personal favourite is the Series 2.
Yeah, I'm a Series 1 boy. It's simple, it's clean, it's majestic. Series 1 every time.
I just like the sort of Balkan look in the eyes of the second horse. It looks like he's charging towards someone in a revenge piece. Just have a look at it again if you want to pop it up, Rubes.
Your aggressive family history coming out, is it,
it's
mate?
like, hang on, he crossed me like about 18 and a half years ago. I remember at the lights, it was him.
You reckon he holds a grudge?
Alrighty, I've put up a couple of different options there, including Series 3, because there is a few people talking about the fact they might have seen some leaks on it. So I'm going to put that option out there as well, even though I can't show the image of it.
Don't get me wrong, I like the Series 3. The Series 2 I always thought looks more unicornish, although Series 3 has that tendency as well.
It's the angle of the horse's head in relation to the ears. Whereas the first one, you can see both of them like more.
Yeah, but the simplicity of the first one, it's just, it doesn't get caught up in the detail and the, again, I don't mind Series 2, but, it's got the clouds in the back and it's all just kind of, it's almost mystical. It's almost, I don't know, there's too much fluff in it.
It's a typical sort of more oriental look of the traditional paintings and stuff that I've seen, which I do like. The first design reminds me, like, I've seen so many horses like that in the country, just look like that and run like that. So
yeah, maybe that's why I like it. But I like it. I think Series 1 every time, and it's still my favourite out of the three is Series 1. But
I do have to say, in most cases. Yeah, it's a toss-up for me between Series 2 and 3. But Series 3, the gold platinum designs, I think they've been fantastic. Yeah.
People in chat confirming something I was suspicious of, but didn't know for sure. Perth Mint have already shown their VIPs.
Yeah.
They've already leaked it out that way.
Yeah, that really...
Because we aren't allowed to show it. Someone in chat saying, everyone's seen it already. We're not allowed to show it, and we will get in big trouble if we do.
Yeah,
but
it really frustrates me that. You got to do something about that, Perth. It's not on.
It kind of makes it a bit difficult to have that, element of surprise and, ooh, what is it?
Well, it's one thing I think also if people didn't share that around, you know what I mean? So if you're part of one problem, that's one...
Yeah, but we're not allowed to share that. Like, we look like right Muppets because we can't show the third one on there.
No,
because we're still under embargo.
Yeah.
And flipping Perth Mint's already got it out there. Everyone else knows what it looks like, and it's like, really? Come on, guys.
Yeah. Oh well, we abide by the rules.
What was the outcome of the?
It was a draw.
Wow. Series 1 and 2 hedging.
But as I have the deciding vote,
do you have it in your stack?
Series 1,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. See, I don't. I have Series 2 in my stack. Yeah.
No, I like Series 1. It's possibly because it's the OG as well. I'm sure there's a component of that because I find with Series 1, it's usually my favourite in pretty much all of them because Series 1's very simplistic. They haven't gone for a lot of the background fluff, the background detail. And while I really enjoy that on some of the coins, I don't know why, but on the Lunars, I just like just the basics, just the animal itself, and I think it looks great like that. So I always kind of, I kind of defer back to Series 1.
I almost shot myself in the foot by saying, well, if you think that's intricate, you should look at these Lunars. And I'm like, no, because if I say that, then everyone else is going to jump on eBay and raise the prices. I'm not going to. I'll talk to you in person after this until I get the set. Yeah.
McDuncan Presents says, what's the go for Sunday night? Hoping to get home in time. This is over in Perth.
I'm thinking get home in time. We're only just arriving.
Yeah.
So Ruben could speak probably a bit more to this, but I think we're getting together at 7:30. 7 o'clock. My apologies. 7 o'clock.
On the Sunday night, and then 7:45 a.m. For those attending the tour with us.
Yeah. So 7 o'clock. We'll probably be there early because we'll stagger in from the plane. I think our plane lands at about 5 o'clock.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll head straight over to the. Almost went into the old days calling it a pub. That's where we used to stay, but the hotel, and then to the pub. And we'll probably get there. I'm guessing we'll get there around about 6:30, 6:45. But officially, we've said 7 o'clock. Did we book the room, Rubes? We've got a room at the.
Well, at least some tables. I'm not sure if it's a dedicated room.
We've got a spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
It says
Standing room only. That sounds great.
At the Grosvenor?
3 tables of 10 in the bar area, and I'm sure if we need to expand from that, we can. But
yeah, no, that'll be heaps, I think. So we're in the Grosvenor, which is diagonally across the road from the Perth Mint. It's a beautiful little pub there. And even if you're not going on the tour the next day, you're absolutely welcome to join us at the pub there if you want. And if last year's anything to go by, it's a good night had by all. Pretty casual. We just sit around and we shoot the breeze and get some hot food on the table and some drinks and just tell lies and all those sorts of things that people do when they get together. And then we'll all stagger off to the hotel later on that evening to arrive back at the Perth Mint by, you're saying 7:45? 7:45
a.m. is when we've told people to be at the gates.
Okay.
But you need to be there by then, so being a little bit early is probably...
I would suggest you target 7:30.
Yeah, we'll be there at 7:30 at least.
At the front gates, we'll be there certainly by 7:30, assuming my alarm goes off. And we will...
I sit like 3-4. Yeah, 5 minutes apart.
So we'll get there, probably before 7:30 because Ruben undoubtedly will get me filming something. We'll gather out the front of the gates there. I think from memory, there's a coffee shop across the road. So we'll be able to get a coffee there. And then about 7:45 or so, we'll stumble into the Perth Mint there and go for this amazing tour that they take us on.
Nice. I can't wait.
Yeah, me neither. Make sure, if you're coming on the tour, make sure you've received and read the email that Ruben would have sent you about conditions of entry and what you've got to wear and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's important. I think everyone has, though, because everyone sent me some details that were required because of that email. So I think it means everyone's read it, which is good.
So just to re-emphasise, make sure you're not wearing any metals. So zips, belts, yada, yada, yada. Because it lights up their metal detectors like a Christmas tree and they don't like it.
All right, maybe a question for the viewers. They're going, what about like jewellery, rings, wedding rings?
No.
That's all got to be...
They've got, they do have lockers there that are secure. They're under camera. They're in the Perth Mint for crying out loud. So you can leave all that stuff there. Usually Ruben leaves a whole stack of camera gear there and, I've got mobile phones and all sorts of things. So they've got lockers there. You can leave that sort of stuff in. But you don't want to be carrying any metal at all, or if you can get away with it, like if you've got to wear some metal, like I've got a pacemaker, I can't exactly pull that out. But you've
gold
got
teeth and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to be careful. Limit it as much as physically possible, and you'll get through. If you can't limit it, like I can't, I have to, like I said, I've got the pacemaker and that sort of stuff. It's not the end of the world. They do, they get you to put on a set of pajamas that look suspiciously like chef pants, that kind of check. And then they X-ray, put on in a tray, they X-ray everything like at the airport, and then they'll wave a wand over you make you turn around 3 times and touch your toes and all that sort of stuff. So
we're really trying to not have that happen though, just because of the amount of people that are coming through.
Well,
we're on
right,
a very tight schedule, so yeah.
Yeah.
For everyone else though who's not coming, I wanted to put out a bit of a message. If you had any questions. So we're going to be over there. We're going to be interviewing one of the designers whilst over there, the designer of the horse, but also a few other, truly awesome coins from the Perth Mint. So if you had any questions for a Perth Mint designer or it's like head of minted products, is that Neil's title?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, director of minted products or something like that. But
one of the big cheeses over there.
One of the high ups of Perth Mint. We're going to be interviewing as well. So yeah, that's it. If you had any questions, put them in chat now. We'll be talking to them early next week, and we can ask them direct in person, and hopefully put out a video answering the questions with them right there.
And if you're watching after, like you're not watching this live, just put them in the comments and we'll pick them up and make sure we ask the relevant person when we're over there.
This one isn't for the interview. It's for now. Jet asking when are the horses available, and specifically at Bullion Now. So
I'm hoping to have some back here by Tuesday the 2nd.
Yep.
But deliveries on the Lunars are a little bit sketchy, but I'm going to try and make sure we've got them back here by the 2nd at the latest.
Silver Mads one there is a big one that I'm going to at least be wanting to ask about, and that's the 10-ounce silver bars. I don't know if we'll get a dodged question on that one, but that's a question I at least want to ask.
Yeah, I can tell you now because I only asked him last week. He's not willing to. The Perth Mint is not willing to give a date. They're hinting that they're getting very, very close. So I suspect very strongly it'll be in the new year. But
that's the 10-ounce silver bar.
That's the 10-ounce silver
cast bar, and the half-ounce gold cast bar.
Don't know as we're going to see that again. I'm not saying we won't, but there wasn't the enthusiasm that I thought there would be with it.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, they're playing with a couple of other sizes, and I'm not going to steal their thunder, but a couple of other sizes of gold cast bars.
Wow.
There you go.
Watch this space. Tune in next week.
I don't think I'll be able to announce it next week, but they're playing around with some interesting stuff over there.
Wow. Okay. Very cool.
Who should I speak to regarding a signed Lunar print by the designer? Unfortunately, I won't be able to get a ticket to Perth Mint this year.
I'm sweet talking the Perth Mint as we speak to try. Last year they let me bring some back. The theory behind them is that you have to turn up at the Mint between 9 and 11 in the morning to actually get one of the signed Lunar prints. I will beg and see if we can get some to bring some back for the Bullion Now family, but I can't guarantee it. They haven't said yes, but I will. I'll try my level best.
Stephen, that's a great question. We'll ask that one about bigger kangaroos. Other people asking about what time we're going to be launching our pre-orders on the Monday.
We're going to wait until approximately 11 o'clock. Just so, look, we try and, this isn't a state secret, I'm sure, we try and keep our pricing fair at about what Perth Mint charges. We don't try to undercut the Perth Mint. We also don't try to price gouge or anything along those sort of lines. And a couple of years ago, we got caught out with, I don't know, we were like 6 cents more expensive than Perth Mint was. And I spent like a week trying to correct invoices because people were a little bit upset that we charged 6 cents more than we should have. So we will wait till they release. We'll release pretty much as soon as they do for pre-order. So we get the pricing right and I don't tear my hair out for the following week.
Andrew says, if I have a 99.99% coin to sell back to Bullion Now that are in a display box, will I be paid below spot because GST is applicable, and therefore do I need to remove them from the display box?
No, absolutely not. Look, I mean, it's if you're selling it back to us as a business, the answer I'm about to give is incorrect. But you, as a retail customer, you don't care about the GST because we sell it back to you at correction. We buy it from you at spot price, including GST. You get spot price. You don't care about that. If it's $100 coin, I know these numbers are slightly out for all you maths freaks out there, but if it's $100 spot price, we'll pay you $100 including GST, and we will actually claim that $10, not quite $10, but that $10 we will claim it back from the government because when we sell that coin, we have to pay GST back to the government, so we get that credit on it. But you as a retail customer, it makes absolutely no difference. If you're going to get $100 in this example that I gave, you'll get the $100 in full either way.
Yeah. The invoice will look a little bit different, but the total amount is the same for you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I think we need to finish up with some rapid fire questions. We might have hit a lot of them now because we did one already. But
right, now you can ask your aviation questions.
if there's any questions we missed, feel free to hit them now, and we'll endeavour to hit them all before we finish up. Simon asking if there's any auctions today. There is an auction we spoke about before, which is a Deek International bar with some fascinating history. I'll just put the link to the auction page there.
Delaney, eat your heart out.
You do have to be logged in to be able to bid on that one. But yeah, that's running on our website at the moment. There was someone else asking before. Looks like Black Coal's asking again. Any update on Perth Mint 1 kilo silver bars?
Starting to trickle through again. So we'll probably look at pulling the special on the kilo coins off fairly soon.
How long before GST arrives at 15%?
Oh, that's a great question.
Don't say things like that out loud. Don't put it in print. Don't give them any ideas, please.
I don't think they'll get it through at this stage. But I've been proven wrong.
They got through those machete bins at what, $340,000 each.
Anthony Gray says, "How come your buyback assay packaging is still intact?" Great question.
I don't even understand the question.
It's basically saying how do you have a buyback that's a minted bar in its packaging if you've needed to test it?
The XRF can see through the packaging.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we can
and
test it. And
in the cases, depending on some packages that don't, we have to actually take it out of the package to test it if we don't get the result.
Yeah.
What happens when an order is completed but you haven't picked it up? So I'm guessing they're talking about on their website account it says completed, but they haven't actually collected the order.
Sitting here in storage waiting for you.
Yep. Can we pick up the horse on Tuesday if we pre-order on Monday?
I'm not guaranteeing that one. I've got to get it back here first.
Have we seen the new Wonka bar yet?
Yes.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, we haven't. Michael has.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Michael, is the next 2 kilo Perth Mint Super Infused going to be cool?
It is always a cool. So, yes is the short answer.
Is there a louder aircraft on the runway than an A10 Warthog?
Yes, there is.
Bert. Will Michael go into the cockpit on the Perth flight?
No, he will not. Not allowed to anymore. Gee, they cracked down on that. Something shocking.
Yeah. Is Alex feeling okay? I believe I just heard him say we can ask aviation questions.
I haven't had my coffee, so no. I'm not feeling okay at all.
Are you heading up to the Richmond Air Show, Michael, and are you coinciding a Bullion Now store opening alongside it?
Maybe.
The 5-ounce Royal Mint line is hectic. Now I know the 5-ounce Lunar is out as of Monday. The line will have to wait.
Yes.
Will we be getting RAM Lunar coins, which also launch next week? Oh, they're putting them on the same week. That's
hang on, is this a first?
I'm going to say no at this point.
Oh, okay. An update regarding SMSF unallocated statements. The accountant is
waiting
asking.
on Perth Mint.
And my accountant's waiting as well. So
we're going
just
over
waiting
there.
on that.
We'll ask him.
So for those that don't know, we may have to steer away from this because it's starting to become embarrassing. But we usually try and use the government issued spot price for June 30th, which is from the Perth Mint. And that way, like if the tax office wants to query your valuation or anything along those sort of lines, you go, well, look, this is a government issued spot price, that it's all been based on, so they have less argument. But like I said, we always try and issue these things in August. Obviously, September rolls around on Monday, so we still don't have that announcement from Perth Mint, so we may have to find an alternative because I'm not willing to push it out much further.
Have either of you ever experienced tinnitus?
So what?
Hey?
Yeah, hardy
I just thought the world rung.
Yeah.
Any more buybacks going up today?
I've spent way too much time around jet engines. You wouldn't believe the tinnitus I have.
Buybacks possibly.
Yeah,
we'll
possibly.
have to go through
I know there's some 10-ounce gold and 5-ounce gold buybacks up there at the moment, and we've had some more come in that I can put up.
Yeah.
There's 1-ounce gold buyback cast bars. There should be silver 1-ounce silver coin /round / bars up there. and kilo bars of silver as well is up there in buybacks.
Okay, I haven't really seen because I was just in a shop for a lot today, but yeah, sounds good.
Hello, do you have a 10-ounce 1991 Kookaburra Perth Mint proof coin available?
Hello and no, not in the buyback. What, 91?
Actually, I'd be surprised if we couldn't.
No, I can tell you no because I'm putting something together for a display.
Okay, all right.
So I had to look through them. But that's a proof though.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
No.
All right. I'll trust you
I'd
on
say
that
no.
one.
I called Pakenham and said Michael said you can process buybacks, and they hung up. Joking, but when are they officially able to process buybacks?
Right now.
Alrighty, that is going to cause some, yeah.
Well, as I keep saying down there, you can process the buybacks. You may not be paid immediately on the spot because we may not have the XRF down there, but it just means that product needs to come back to Melbourne to be tested under the XRF, and then
And you
we'll
can
make
lock
full payment.
And you can lock the price.
Yeah,
then
you lock
and
the
there.
price,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So we're able to process them through there. If I ever manage to wrestle the spare XRF away from Alex, I will get it down there so they can do it properly. But at this stage, Alex keeps saying, "Oh, but I need it."
We need it.
We just need another XR.
Yeah.
Alex, which Lunar series is your favourite in silver?
In silver, I'd say Series 2. In gold, I'd say toss up
1.
between 2 and 3. And platinum, I'd say definitely Series 3.
Well, it's just, okay. There's a reason
Do
for
you
that.
disagree?
Mate. No, not on the platinum, not at all.
Michael, do you think pre-decimal Australian coins are worth stacking?
I don't, and I know this goes against everyone. I've just upset half of our listeners by saying that, but to me, I would rather stack silver than stack silver and copper or silver and nickel or whatever combination it's mixed in with, because it's a waste of space and it incurs GST. And I don't find it particularly much cheaper than just buying, your buyback silver or bars of silver. So we sell it, and a lot of people love it, and I know I've just upset a lot of people, but it's not for me.
Any chance of getting the 10-ounce completer Queen's Beasts?
We've had them.
Been and gone, yeah.
Interesting rumour about the Tudor
Tudor?
Beasts and whether they're going to do a completer. That was an interesting conversation with Royal Mint.
Any conversation
Wow,
that
what
you
a
can...
tease.
That's just mean. So your live website metal values are from the live Perth Mint values.
No.
Silvermad wants to know a percentage on the completion of the city store. I need to come in store soon and see it. They missed Brett.
Give us a month.
What site do you use to get spot price? Is it Kiko? What site do you use?
No, we don't. We get a direct feed from, somebody help me here, Infusion.
Infusion.
We get a direct feed from Infusion.
Is there any gold donuts in buyback?
There was this morning, but I think I saw it go out.
Yes, it was, and now there's not, unless there's one that's come in when we're not here.
right.
So,
Any idea when you'll get some more quarter-ounce gold maples in?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say no, but I know there's been discussion about bringing them in because we had it last week with the Royal Canadian Mint, so probably not that far away.
Can we say anything about the Wombat and Quokka series and if they're dead or not?
That's a really good question for Neil. Somebody should ask us to ask that very question.
We'll do that.
yep.
Has anyone taken tail donuts through airports as jewellery?
Many times.
Yes.
Many times, yes, they've been very popular. And on the donuts end, when with the earlier question about buybacks, we don't get as many as we used to, but we sell a lot still. Yeah.
Sounds like Jet's waiting in the waiting room of Bullion Now as we speak. 2-ounce honeybee. When are you getting more stock, or aren't we?
We are, I believe, we're getting more stock.
Please talk to me before.
Simon wants us to auction the kookaburra we don't have on the live stream. What's the next spot special? Oh, sorry, when's the next spot special going to happen?
Possibly
please?
when I go away, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Alex has to bring in his Lunar stack. With the new
Stacks.
Scottsdale friendship,
I was going to say,
any
bring a
chance
wheelbarrow.
of their stacker lines in the future?
Yes.
Do I need to make an appointment to check some old gold coins I have?
No, but it's always better if you do.
What are you really open at Pakenham now? Serious question.
I don't understand. What are you really open? So we're open 9 to 5, but it's by appointment only.
Yep. So just ring up and say, hey, I'd like to come to Pakenham. They'll give you all the details and, yeah, book an appointment for you.
Let me clarify that. They won't take an appointment after 4:30. I'll guarantee you that.
After 4.
Yeah.
After 4, is it?
I'm thinking,
Okay,
4's the
after
last
4
time
o'clock.
because I booked in someone for 4 o'clock.
Did Michael visit APMEX when he was in Oklahoma?
I caught up with technically, yes. I went to their stand that they had there, and I actually did chat to the APMEX guys.
Greetings from Chicago. Just got back from an Oasis concert and tuning in. Committed.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
Is there a coffee machine in the city store?
Negative. There's
No.
a coffee shop downstairs. I don't know what the coffee's like.
Any more 2025 Perth Mint 1 ounce gold to come in?
Yes, but I can't remember what it is. I think so.
Your spot always seems to be 5 to 10 cents over the trading view chart I use, and is slow on the dips when the price dips. Your price often doesn't, and it recovers before yours catches up.
I have no idea what we're saying there.
Just differences in spot price feeds.
I got no control over that.
Does Michael have a favourite Hobart Mint product?
No, I like most of what they're producing out of there.
I've
Actually,
only seen 2 in hand.
say that again.
I've only seen 2 in hand, but they're both cool.
I think there's more than that in the back room here.
No, I don't think so. Unless you've stashed some somewhere else and beside your
I'm
desk.
pretty sure there's more than 2 out the back, but yeah. Okay.
When is Michael going away next?
Sunday night.
Do you know next Perth Mint one-off design release? So not as a part of a series, but the next thing they're releasing that's just...
That extraterrestrial one.
Yeah, so they're releasing something Tuesday, a bit more numismatic, but yeah, something...
A lot more numismatic.
Yeah, well... yeah, keep an eye out on Tuesday. Any more questions? No, there's just some statements and comments. We're at the bottom of the list. We made it.
Lucky you, I've got to go back in the shop.
I've actually got to get out of here. I have to be out in country Victoria in about 45 minutes' time, so I have to get my skates on.
Yeah, or skis on. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very, very much for tuning in to another crazy live stream.
Yeah.
And it'll be a crazy week next week as well, so stay tuned on some of the Bullion Now socials. YouTube as well. We'll have the launch of the Lunar horse on Monday, the proofs on Tuesday, and there'll be some other shenanigans and stuff coming out from that trip as well. Hopefully some more videos and some interviews as well.
Yeah. Be aware that everything will be released on the Monday from a bullion perspective. Don't get caught up in I have to buy it right this second, because other than the 1 ounce, they will be available throughout the next few months at least. And even the 1 ounces, with the possible exception of the platinum, you will see them. You'll see them for a couple of weeks. Even if we sell out rapidly, you'll actually find Perth Mint will still have some for a couple of weeks. So don't panic too much. Don't get caught up in I've got to have it on the first day. I've got to have it. Or I'll miss out. You won't miss out. The platinum could be the one that we do miss out on. And I know that we're going to have to probably ballot ours off, because I don't think we're going to get enough for what I actually want to release.
And don't sit on the 1 ounce. I know the numbers say, 300,000 on the 1 ounce in the silver, but that's the one consistently. I always get people coming back in the store and asking for the 1 ounce. Like I'm talking a few months after release, because everyone's chasing that 1 ounce, or to give us presents. I don't know, because Lunar's very popular. So just. Yeah. It's not going to sell out instantly, but just don't sit on it too long if you can get it earlier. Yeah,
and I encourage you to try out some of the other sizes as well, because you'll find, go back and check out some of the previous vintage numbers. That is it, as we said, for Friday. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you everyone that has tuned in, either now live or will tune in into the future, which will then be in the past. Work that one out on a Friday afternoon.
I need some caffeine to even process that.
We will be back, as Ruben said, next week with our usual shenanigans. We'll also be over in Perth. So if you happen to see us wandering around aimlessly, looking completely lost and Victorian,
offer us some chocolate.
Don't be frightened of saying good day and making yourself known. if you do get the chance, whether you're coming on the tour or not, if you do get the chance to stop in to the Grosvenor on the Sunday night after 7 o'clock, please do so, because we love catching up with the Bullion Now family, and you never know who drops by. That's it from me. I will see you all next week.
See you in the shop.
See ya.